it's Georgia with Monrovia. We are doing phase 2 of the front yard garden makeover today. Today, plants are being delivered and we are beginning installation. We are so glad to have you along on the journey. Any and all plants that you see, you can find more information on monrovia.com. So last video, I sat down with the landscape architect, Lisa Nunemaker, and we walked through 3 different plans that she had put together for the front yard. I decided to go with plan number 3, which was the lawn-free meadow. 1, because I really wanted to remove the lawn in the front yard because it's less maintenance, and that was part of why I chose this design. Overall, the plant is very low maintenance and pretty drought tolerant once it's established. And second is because it's quite a fabulous pollinator garden. There's lots of different flowering plants and shrubs that bring in a ton of different pollinators, especially hummingbirds with the Gara and the agastache, which my husband didn't have a lot of opinion on the garden, but that was one thing that he asked for, which was hummingbirds, and I think that we're gonna have a lot of them in this garden. And then the third is that we're incorporating edibles, and that's something that was really important to me. So we have strawberries and blueberries in the garden, and they're sort of incorporated around as ornamental plants, and I'm really excited to see how the lawn-free meadow comes together. So the 2 edibles that we chose for the front yard are Bountiful Blue Blueberry and Eversweet Strawberry. The Bountiful Blue is one of my absolute favorites. It's quite compact, only gonna be about 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. And we've sort of incorporated it as part of the hedging here because it's a beautiful shrub on its own. It's gonna be nice and round, well branched. The foliage is really blue and it's quite beautiful. It is low chill, so that means only about 150 to 200 chill hours is all, and you're gonna get a beautiful crop of juicy, delicious berries. These are zones 6 through 10. And then Eversweet Strawberries, they're zones 4 through 9. And we chose Eversweet because they really produce well all throughout the summer. They're ever-bearing. Most strawberries are gonna sort of peter out in the heat of the summer, but these will continue to produce berries all throughout the summer, above 80 degrees. They are really a fabulous plant. And we've created this sort of snack track here so we can walk by and pick our blueberries and strawberries easily. We are featuring 3 different evergreen hedges in this front yard plan. The first is Ilex Luxus Globe, or holly. These are hardy to zones 6 through 10. I really love them in the front here because they're nice and compact, only about 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. They make an excellent boxwood alternative. They have that same fine foliage and they shear really nicely. So you get this really beautiful, more formal hedge that pairs well with that backdrop of all the texture and the grasses and the pollinator plants. We also are featuring a myrtle. It is called Sweet Maroon. It is one of our Monrovia exclusives and I love it. It is quite compact at about 4 feet tall by 4 feet wide. They are hardy to zone 8 through 10. They are super drought tolerant. They have fabulous fragrant foliage, fragrant flowers in the spring. And about this time of year, we're in spring into summer now, they have a beautiful glossy green foliage. But when the fall hits, they turn this beautiful deep red, and that foliage stays deep red all the way until the following spring. So it's a fabulous plant for many reasons. And then next is our larger, more privacy hedge type screen. We are using Pittosporum Gold Coast. This is another Monrovia exclusive. It's hardy to zone 7 through 10. And I love it for its fine foliage. It has these really delicate, bright green leaves paired with a black stem. It's really quite nice, not just for creating like a wall of privacy, but it brings in a lot of texture and movement as well. One of the things about gardening is making sure that we put the right plant in the right place. It's going to really help you be successful in the garden, and we have quite a bit of shade near the front of the house, and so we have 3 fabulous shade plants that we're highlighting. The first is Seaside Serenade Crystal Cove Hydrangea Macrophylla. This is one of our newest macrophyllas in our Seaside Serenade collection. It is a beautiful lace cap flower. It is quite large. It has this really delicate frilly petal that the color is just this beautiful saturated deep pink, and it gets deeper as it ages. The beautiful thing about Seaside Serenades in general, and Crystal Cove especially, is that it's going to rebloom, and it's hardy zones 4 through 9. I also love that it's quite compact. It's only going to be about 4 feet tall by 4 feet wide, so it's perfect for close to the house where we can really enjoy those blooms. We are offsetting that with a lovely fern. It is called Jurassic Pterodactyl. It's an eared lady fern. It has these gorgeous sort of arching fronds with red stems and lovely texture. It's gonna be about 18 inches tall by 18 inches wide, and it just brings a lot of texture and movement to the shade garden. And then we are pairing it with a heuchera, of course. The heuchera that we've chosen is Forever Purple. It is called Forever Purple because the foliage stays true purple throughout the season. Oftentimes heuchera can tend to fade out throughout the season, and this really holds on to that color well. I really love the heuchera, especially as we bring it closer, because our shade is sort of moving throughout the day, and heuchera are really adaptable. They can handle both full shade and sun, so it's a really great problem-solving plant for our area in particular. When you're ready to start planting, we recommend digging the hole about twice the width of the pot and then about as deep as the pot itself. You really want the level of the soil to be even without dipping, because that's a good way to get some rot down there in your newly established plant. Now, when you remove your plant from the container, I also like to break up the soil of the root system. That all just helps establish the roots into your existing soil. What's nice about a Monrovia container is that it comes with mycorrhizae, which is gonna help build the mycelium structure of your soil. It's gonna really help your new plant obtain nutrients from the existing soil. You can also go ahead, this is a great time to fertilize or add compost, whatever you wanna do to up your nutrition. Then be sure to give it a good drink when you're done, and enjoy.
Hi, I'm Megan McConnell. I'm the Plant Information Director at Monrovia, but I also have a background in landscape design, so I'm here with my friend Georgia, who I've had the pleasure of working with for 7 years now, to help out with the project and get everything installed.
Okay, so we're about halfway through install. I think we should check in with where we're at.
Sure.
Okay, so the shade part of the house, I think we're pretty much done. We planted it all. I think it looks really nice.
Yeah, looks awesome. I love the heuchera contrast against the foliage.
Yeah, me too. And the Crystal Cove, I think, appears really nicely with it.
And that's exciting because that's a newer one.
Yes. Okay, but then the matrix of grasses. So this is sort of like the prairie moment. I think we've got some work to do with interspersing the perennials.
Yeah, I think we need a little more variety with the flowers, because right now we only have, one color punch in there. So put a few more in there to really get that meadow look. But I really like the pairing with this more formal hedge because it makes this seem more intentional.
Definitely, yeah.
But I think this natural look is such a great, for this area, people love that kind of thing here. So I think, it's gonna fit in well with the neighborhood.
Yeah, and I like, so we've paired agastache. I think we'll move the echinacea, but the agastache will go in here, the pink pearl, and it's much more compact than others, so it's only gonna be like a foot tall, which I think will be really nice paired along the edge here.
Yeah, for sure. And I just wanna say, you did such an amazing job with this path. I'm so impressed. So we've got our low lawn substitute. I think that's gonna look awesome. Mm-hmm. It's nice to have someplace to rest the eye, a little swath of just green.
Yeah.
And when that blooms, that's gonna look beautiful.
Yep. We've got more of the same over here with the blueberries and the strawberries, where those are planted, so that's great.
Making progress.
Lots of comments from the neighbors eating the strawberries, so that's good. And then we've got some work to do over here.
Yeah, I think there's just a little more moving things around, but this is gonna be a nice little sort of understory, shady area.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love adding a still bee to the undershade because it has such a bright flower, and it'll pick up all the pinks that we have going on the other side of the yard too, I think really nicely. Wonderful. And then once this evergreen hedges grow up, then we'll have some privacy from the road that's over here too, which will be really nice.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's get planting.
All right.
Thank you so much for watching. You can find more inspiration and designs by Lisa Nunemaker on Monrovia.com. Follow along throughout the season as we update you on how the plants are growing and how the landscape matures.